Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for freaking out on my boyfriend after he and his friends ate the cake that I made for my friend's birthday? Oh no, it's the cake story. I, 19 female, have been with my boyfriend, 22 male, let's call him Jonah, for 5 years, and we have a 4-year-old Anna. Damn. He's a good dad, don't get me wrong. He loves our kid, plays with her, and helps out when it's his turn for the most part. But sometimes I feel like he just does what he wants, and I'm the only one who actually has to be the responsible adult in this situation. I feel like that's a common thing with young parents. Like, I don't care that he still hangs out with his friends. I do too when I have the time and I want him to have fun or whatever, but when they come over, they get way too rowdy. They'll be drinking, blasting music, but I still don't want that around my kid, and just being loud. I've told him a million times that's not the kind of energy I want our daughter around, and he just acts like I'm being uptight. So when I know he's having a chill night with them, I usually just take Anna to my parents' house so she doesn't have to deal with it. Hold on here. Him just being like, yeah, we're gonna have like a rowdy party right there with my kid. He's not ready to be a dad. He's not ready. He's not ready to grow up. This time, I was actually excited to get out of the house for another reason. My best friend's birthday. She's been talking about this specific cake for months. A chocolate cheesecake stuffed sheet cake. A cake inside of another cake? Hello, which by the way took me forever to get right, so we agreed that I would make it for her birthday. I was so happy with how it turned out. Baking is one of the few little things I got in between taking care of Anna and online school, so I get really happy and proud about it when I get to do it, whether it's just for fun or for someone else. I spent hours making this cake. It was perfect. Before I left for my parents' house, I made it very, very clear to my boyfriend, do not touch this cake. It is for my friend. He kind of laughed and went, yeah, okay, babe. Like I was being weird for even saying it. I come back the next morning, go to grab the cake, and half of it is gone. Like a whole side of it is just destroyed. I did have the thought that maybe he would have cut himself a little piece, which still would have pissed me off, but whatever. But no, his friends got into it too. I asked him what the hell happened, and Jonah just shrugged and told me they had the munchies. Like that was some kind of valid excuse. I was so mad. I told him I spent hours on it, that it was literally my best friend's birthday cake, and that I had specifically told him not to touch it. And he had the audacity to go, babe, it's just some cake. Why are you acting like this? Yeah, brozo again. For you. Like, I don't know, maybe because I just put so much effort into it and now I have nothing to bring to my friend's party. He kept going on about how I was blowing shit out of proportion and how I could just make another one. Why don't you try to make that cake, you bonehead? As if I even have the time to do that and for it to be ready for the party. We kept arguing about it until he rolled his eyes at me and told me if I was going to act like that over the cake, then I could stay with my parents. So yeah, he kicked me out. I barely had time to grab my things and our daughter because he was practically shooing me out the door and leaving. Yeah, like I said, not ready to be a dad. Also not deserving of you. Now I'm back at my parents' house feeling so stupid for even being surprised. And of course, now Jonah's texting me acting all confused like he never did anything. He's saying, I just needed space to cool down and I didn't mean for you to actually leave. He can half a cake and eat shit too. I felt pretty justified until my mom told me basically that I need to let things like this go and not overreact so much over mistakes. My mom is usually right when she tells me things like this. So yeah, honey. Let me preface this by saying, when you had this problem and you left, you went to your mom's, right? So there is a cost to your mom here, and that is housing you. Maybe she enjoys having her freedom. Like, I'm sure she loves having you over there and having your kid over there too, but all the time she might be like, oh, I don't know that this is worth leaving him over and moving in here. No, honey, I think there's some things you just have to let slide. You know, boys will be boys and they get the munchies and they'd eat toilet paper if that was in the fridge. No, I don't care how strong your munchies are. You always know right from wrong. And if his brozo douchebag friends were over, I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. One of them opens the fridge and is like, dude, did you see this cake? And he's like, yeah, we can't touch it. And they're like, the we can't. So he played cool guy and he's like, yeah, let's just eat it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm the man here. I wear the pants. It's my house, my cake. Eat it. And now he's pulling this shit on you like, he just needed some space. Guess what, dude? If you need space, leave and take that space. Do not kick your partner and your child out to give you space. That's just another douchey move. Hatter dropping the 10 here says, in my opinion, I think it's an ESH. OP to herself, because you know this man cares about himself and is willing to do whatever he wants. He is a bigger dum-dum for not respecting OP's wishes. Yeah, he's the bigger asshole here for sure. And the fact that he is now flipping it around and trying to gaslight her into being like, well, no, I just needed some space. Like, it's not a big deal. Also, you're just overreacting about the cake, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to change. He's not ready to grow up. Unfortunately, you have had to grow up really quickly because by doing the math, you were 15? Hold up. Go back. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. 19 female, and they have a 4-year-old. So yeah, she was 15 whenever their kid was born. You've had to grow up really fast. And it sounds like he, who was 22, so he would have been 17 at the time, has chosen to just not to. Now, I can tell you from past mistakes and experience that when you are a young parent, like I was 20 whenever Caden Thunder was born, there is this resistance to like growing up and becoming like a responsible adult. There's this pull, like it's a fight. It is a fight that happens. As a young parent, it's really hard to grow up. And I think young moms probably have less of a choice involved. And I think it's really, really freaking hard. But eventually, hopefully you get it right. Hopefully you get your head out of your ass. And that's one of the reasons I think it's really hard for kids with really, really young parents, is because their parents are going through that struggle too of like trying to figure out how to grow up or fighting against it. And sometimes those things are happening simultaneously, but you make choices. So OP, like to you, I just bear in mind that the person giving you advice has some skin in the game here. So take that with a grain of salt. And for your boyfriend, he's 22. Like, do you want to be a good dad? Do you want to be a good partner? Then your actions need to prove that. That's it. Every action. That is it. Every action. There's a fork in the road every time he makes a choice, right? And right now he's choosing the easy, fun thing more often than not. And he will regret it someday. He will. He will definitely regret it someday. It seems like the only reason she would say you need to let stuff like this go is either that's what she was trained to believe in her life, or yes, she wants to retain her freedom and not have the cost or the inconvenience of sheltering her in this split.